Welcome to Let's Talk. I'm Darlene.
I'm Joe.
Hi, Joe.
Hello, Darlene.
We're
How are
having a
you?
wonderful week today.
Absolutely. It's Cherry Hill, New Jersey. It's RBN Television. And we have a great guest today.
Yes, we do. This is wonderful. We have Reverend BlaQ Fire. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
And you're the founder of the BlaQ Fire Nation, right?
Yes,
Can you
sir.
tell us about that?
Okay, so I started BlaQ Fire Nation because I started teaching metaphysics. I graduated from University of Sedona or University of Metaphysics.
Oh, I love it, Sedona.
Yeah, and I was already teaching before I graduated and got my degree in it, but once I got my degree in it, I actually made it a business, whereas though I teach people how to heal themselves emotionally, psychologically, spiritually through metaphysics. So that's what I do as a metaphysician, and that's what I do in BlaQ Fire Nation.
Can you explain, just in case anyone doesn't know, what metaphysics actually does?
That's such a great question. So metaphysics, the word metaphysics breaks down to mean beyond the physical, right? So it means that you're going to go beyond what you can physically see, hear, taste, just your physical experience in this reality. You go beyond that in order to get a deeper understanding, like a spiritual understanding of your soul. So a metaphysician is someone that helps you understand your soul, the soul and spirit aspect of your soul.
How did you get involved in this?
Oh, wow. Well, it started off with me just following my heart in regards to religion, right? Just at the surface level of religion. But as I started getting more into just basic Christianity, I started to question some things that I read in the Bible. And those things kind of made me scratch my head. Not going to get into the specifics of it. But as I dove deeper into the Bible, I started to have dreams about it. Scriptures started to be revealed to me. Different things were said to me in dreams about different scriptures in the Bible. And so it just made me more curious, and I just kept going deeper and deeper and deeper until I started realizing, like, oh, there's a whole nother realm beyond this physical experience that we're having. And so that's what made me go deeper into metaphysics.
Well, this is also a gift. When
It
you
is.
were a child, did you experience any of these feelings?
You know what? I don't remember as a child. I don't. But you mentioned, a gift. So what I did realize about myself during this journey was that I had a gift to be able to see the spiritual meaning in words. And I also found out that I had the gift of clairaudience. So for those who may not know, clairaudience means that you can hear beyond the physical realm, right? So when I would fall asleep, how when you fall asleep but you're not all the way to sleep,
Right.
I would hear like crazy stuff. I'm not crazy though, but somebody else might think that I was. But because I was able to hear in that way, when I heard words, I would hear the esoteric meaning of words, meaning the deeper meaning of it. So that is my spiritual gift that I use to teach metaphysics.
Well, let's concentrate on those words for a minute. You're a wordsmith, kind of,
That's right, yeah.
Okay, so, that must be a gift when
I
you think
believe
about
it
it.
is.
So
It
how-
is a gift.
So how do you control that?
Ooh. I don't think that you try to control it.
I mean, it just comes naturally, or
It
do you?
just happens.
It does.
know-
It does. It's like if I'm driving down the street and I see a word, my mind will automatically say, "Oh, that really means such and such, such and such." So it's not like sometimes I'm intentionally doing it. Like I'm like,
Right.
"Oh, let me go look up that word like in a dictionary."
Right.
Right. I study something called etymology, and etymology means the origin of a word. Like,
Right.
what did it mean when people first started using it, maybe back in the 14 or 15 or 1300s. But then after I go look at the etymology, then my mind starts to expand on it and say, well, what does it mean deeper? What is the deeper meaning of that? So it just pops up. It's not like I'm like trying to control it, if that makes sense.
That's why I asked the question, because it would seem to me that would be happening to you all the time.
It is.
You know, I mean, you constantly, every time you see a word, something, you know.
It's constantly.
Yeah, so you don't really have a control on it then. It just kind of happens, right?
It does. It does.
Isn't that scary?
You know what? It was scary in the beginning. And the reason why is because what I started to realize that the words were showing me that there was more to what we call God than I was taught in religion. It actually started showing me that there was a divine feminine aspect of God.
Oh,
That part started, I'm not going to say it scared me, but when I tried to introduce that concept to the masses, people were like, oh no, there's Mother God. There's no Mother God.
well, there's Mother Nature, and there's, you know,
Exactly.
Mother.
And guess what? Nature is another word for God.
Right,
Right.
right,
So when we say Mother Nature, we're really saying Mother God.
right. Well, tell us more about it. This is really interesting. I'm
so
excited.
By me studying the words, I kept going down this path where I kept seeing words that meant the Mother God or the Mother aspect of God, or things that shows up in nature, or Mother Nature, like you said, actually teaches us about what they call in the masses the law of attraction.
Right, sure.
Right. So, like, for example, what we call Mother Nature is like how the ocean works. Right? When you go stand at the ocean, you see the water go out,
Right.
you see it come back. Right. It goes out, it comes back. So that kind of teaches us that, oh, that's how all of nature works. What you put out comes back. What you put out comes back.
Right.
And so it became scary in that sense that when I would introduce it to the masses, people would get upset with me, and because they would, it would well up their fear of the unknown, or things that they haven't been taught, and that is what bothered me in the beginning. But I've been doing this since 2013, so now I'm over it.
You're used to it.
I'm used to it.
Well, tell us a little bit about your book that you have right here.
Oh, thank you for asking that. So this is a book that I wrote called Self-Realization of a Goddess, and this book is about understanding the feminine aspect of God, but it helps more so women understand the role that they play in bringing what I call star seeds to the earth, because we are all star seeds.
What's the
What does
star
that
seed?
So meaning that we come from the cosmos, we come from the stars. And when we are born through our mother's womb, that's what's really happening during an exchange of sexual energy. It's like a star seed is really being planted into the mother's womb, and she plays a huge role in cultivating that. She is likened to Mother Nature, because her womb does all of this work to cultivate that star seed and bring it through her portal and bring it to earth. So in this book, I help the women understand the magnitude of that responsibility. And it also helps them heal some of the trauma that they may have gone through with their mothers and their grandmothers, and things that get passed down through generations and blah, blah, blah. So that's, in a nutshell, that's what this book is about.
What inspired you to write that?
My own trauma.
Oh, okay. Oh, serious. Okay.
Yeah, my own, and I talk about it in the book as well. My own hardship that I had with my parents. So both my mother and father were drug addicts. I talk about this in the book. And they left me with my grandmother when I was really young. And I struggled with that through my life. In the book, I talk about how these things that's passed down to you internally play a huge role in the relationships that you create as an adult, because you have so much pain stored in your body, right? So you start to attract painful situations. And now you have to learn to forgive, but the forgiveness goes back to your parents. And even deeper than that, it's just on a soul, or what I call a cellular level. That's where the healing, or the metaphysician, being your own metaphysician of yourself, comes into play. I hope I
Now,
answered
what do
the
you do
question.
about negativity?
What do you mean?
In general, people are negative about
like
things.
when I introduce this to them and they're being
No,
negative
in general,
about it?
with life.
Oh, just
general,
with
when
life.
People,
Oh.
Yeah, because
Oh, yeah.
so many people lately, especially after COVID, are
Yeah,
so
yeah,
negative.
yeah.
What can you suggest to help people that are negative to change that somehow?
Yeah, that's a really good question too.
Thanks. I love the topic. I love what you're doing.
Yeah, it's a very deep introspective topic. It kind of forces you to go inside yourself. Oh, I'm covering the mic. I'm sorry. Okay. So as far as negativity, because I definitely deal with that a lot. So like, I'll give you an example. I had made a video on TikTok, which I am on TikTok, and I made a video that said people will say that they can create their own reality and they have all this mind power. And then I said, yes, and that's how you chose your parent in the womb, right? You were attracted, because the law of attraction works both ways.
Certainly.
You are not only attracting things to you, you are attracted to things. And so when I said that you were attracted to your parent, oh, no.
I would say that
no.
too.
People were like, what do you mean? And they started going berserk. So I had all these comments on there with the negativity. They were like cursing me out. You don't know what you're talking about. Da, da, da. And so how I handled that is I just asked them to go deeper into themselves and have the courage to go beyond what they were taught about what spirituality is, what they were taught about their soul, what they were taught about their spirit. But that takes courage to do that. And I only know that because I did that when I went through my journey. I had to have the courage to say, yeah, I understand what my parents taught me in Christianity about religion, but I think it might be some more to this than that. And that takes courage and strength.
Sure.
Yeah.
I can understand why people would say that.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, I know people that are completely the opposite of their parents, but then that could make them have grown into the person they became.
And that could be why they even attracted to them. That could have been why.
Right.
Yeah.
This is so interesting.
Sometimes we are attracted to, they say opposites attract sometimes, right? Sometimes we are attracted to that so that we become better than that.
Well, you can actually, I believe in the law of attraction also. And
Okay.
I think
Beautiful.
you can do it. You can attract good things or bad things.
That's right.
You know, that's the whole basis of that.
Right.
And if you want to make it a negative day, you can make it a negative,
That's right.
day. You know, if you
It
want to
depends on how you think about it, right?
That's right. I get up in the morning and I feel like I've been dealt a hand of cards. And what I discard and what I keep is what my day is going to be like. And then every day I get a new one. You know, I get a new deck to play with.
Yes.
And I'll attract things that I want to in a certain day, or I will either be, it could be, sometimes it's negative. Sometimes
Yes.
it is. Sometimes I get up and don't have a good day, but I'm in control of that.
Yes, and that's the part that people will argue with you about or debate with you. They'll say that I'm not in control of that.
Right.
And it's like, well, you're denying your power now.
Right. Yeah, that's exactly what you're talking about. I'm really into that because I really believe in it.
We're back with Let's Talk with our really, really great guest, and I'm enjoying this myself.
Good.
So you were going to tell us about some of your seminars, your classes, and what you're doing there.
Okay, so the book is actually based on the classes. I talk a lot about the classes in here, so this is like just a really condensed version of the classes. I take the women, particularly women, I teach men too, but not through the classes. I take them through what I call 12 steps to self-realization. 13 steps if you want to go into astrology, because astrology has a lot to do with some of our personality and our character. But the 12 steps go through the 12 steps that I feel like I personally went through in order to go from a mindset of a victim mentality, which is things are just happening to me, to what I call a creator mentality, meaning that no, I'm playing a huge role in creating these experiences. So the 12 steps help you unravel those things.
Do you do astrology readings?
I don't do astrology readings, but during my course, my online course, I bring an astrologer in.
Oh, you do? Okay.
To help the women that come to the course with their own, what we call natal charts. I'm learning it though. I'm learning about my own astrology. That plays a huge, like I said, that plays a huge role in you understanding even some of your childhood trauma and things that you've gone through. But yeah, so for example, one of the steps, step number 7, is forgiveness. Forgiveness plays a huge role in you unlocking your spiritual gifts, because you could have blockage in your, what am I trying to say? In the spiritual community, it's called Akashic Records. Have you ever heard that term before?
No, I haven't.
I have.
Oh, you have. So Akashic Records is like the memories of the whole universe.
Okay.
But within that is the memories of your spiritual gifts, things that you've used to do many, many lifetimes ago, but maybe you forgot. So it could be blocked because you're so focused on your trauma that you're not even thinking about, I have this huge gift inside of me. That's step number 7, is understanding forgiveness and the importance of it and how it ties into karma and all of that kind of stuff.
I find it very interesting because intellectually I can understand forgiveness.
Yeah.
Emotionally, I can't.
It's definitely hard.
I mean, seriously. I mean, that's one of the things I try to work on because I don't forgive anybody.
Oh, that's awful.
And it is. I mean,
I think you need to talk to her privately.
No, seriously. I'm glad you
But
brought
that
that up.
brings bad karma if
but
you
that's
can't
you know,
forgive
I
anybody,
just don't.
doesn't it?
Well, in the end, it's about you, right?
Right.
So it's
Right.
really about
'Cause you control your
it's
own
about
fate,
you.
true.
Yes.
You do control your own fate.
Yes.
But I find it really interesting because more people we've had on our program talk about the healing of forgiveness.
That's right.
And I just don't see that.
Can I give you an example
Certainly,
of like
please do.
how I help people understand what things really mean on an esoteric level using words? Because
Okay.
like you mentioned earlier, I'm a wordsmith.
Right.
So when you look at the letters in the word forgiveness, you will find the phrase giver of Venice. On the end of forgiveness is the word Venice, Veness. Now let me ask you, what does that word also sound like astrologically or in the planets? What does the
Venus?
word? That's right. Right. So when you study Venus, Venus represents love,
Right.
desire, money. Venus has to do with attracting money to you. So therefore, hidden in the understanding of forgiveness is Venus, which means that if, again, with the unlocking of your what we call our chakra system, it means that you have to understand how forgiveness is directly tied to love and money.
Well, that you know, and you have a retreat every year too, don't
I
you?
do have a retreat every year.
How does that work?
So
Can men go?
say that again?
Can men go?
No.
No.
I was going to send Joe.
No, I particularly, I don't mind men taking my online class,
Right.
but the in-person class, I don't have anything against men. I love men, but I know that they can be distracting, right?
Oh, wow.
So I don't like to have them in the live classes. That's because they can be distracting to the women. But with the retreats, they are for people that have taken the whole course, the
Okay.
whole 13-week online course that goes with the book.
Okay.
And when they finish the course, which is usually, the course runs from October to like January. So when they're done with the course, I usually have a retreat somewhere around May, maybe like April or May for spring. And that retreat is to celebrate that they actually went through all of the steps, because not everyone makes it.
Right.
Some people, they get like, this is too much, and they'll stop coming to class. But for the ladies who make it through the whole thing, they get invited to the course. I mean, they get invited to the retreat. So last year, we went to Blue Mountain, Georgia, and then the year before that, we were supposed to go to Egypt, but then
Right.
COVID hit.
Wow.
And it got
Didn't go.
canceled. And then the year before that, we went to Costa Rica. So,
You go all around then.
oh yeah,
Oh, that's nice.
I prefer international, but because of COVID, you know.
Now, do you teach the class yourself? Is it like online or Zoom, or is it
Yeah.
you're actually teaching it?
Yeah.
So we can see you teaching
Yeah.
it? Oh, that's
So I teach it
really
in a
good.
few different ways.
There you right there, picture.
Oh,
There I
there it
am.
is.
Yes.
There you
yeah,
are.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you are. And
So-
I think we have a picture of the retreat too coming up.
Yeah. Yeah. You'll see some of the ladies that graduated last year. There they are. They got their crowns on.
Okay.
Look
So
at
everyone
that.
that comes to the retreat, they get a crown. They get a certificate that says that they completed all 12 steps.
Wow.
They get what I call a magic pen, right? It can be magic if you say that it is, because you're creating your reality.
Right.
Yeah, so that is that's what they get from the retreat, and then from there on, because they start really believing that they create their reality, you know, they're manifesting what they desire.
what I think is interesting is that you work with only women because you're right. I think that they would a tendency to be more intimate and more straightforward.
Yes.
Than if you mix the groups. Am
Yes.
I right?
Yes, absolutely. And I also work primarily with women because I know the way the laws of nature works, that the men, because they're attracted to the woman, right? They're going to maybe be more interested in learning the different things that she's learning just because he wants to be near her, right? Because he's attracted to her. So therefore, by coming through her, he'll get it more from a woman than probably a man. I'm just saying it like that.
Well, you remove the desire.
That's it. You're
There you
using
go.
the desire
Right. Uh-huh.
and the attraction to actually help the men by teaching the women first.
Right.
Yeah.
That- you're-
That's
you're-
the trick. That's the trick that I use.
Well, you're uncovering all your secrets here.
I know, right?
Rev.
Yeah, I like it.
Well, but that what you do is very interesting. I find it it's almost psychic,
Yeah.
isn't it?
It
Would you
is.
say, are you a little psychic?
I would say that. So
Because it kind of seems that it goes
Right,
along
yeah.
with this.
it does. Once you start opening yourself up to, spiritual understanding, you definitely start to get what in the spiritual community we call it downloads.
Okay.
So you start to get just different things start to click, and a lot of them come through dreams. I mean, I mentioned that earlier, that I was having dreams when I
Right.
was reading the Bible. Scriptures would come up into my dreams, and my dreams, things would be said to me in my dreams about like literally, like Galatians 6:9 says that, you know what I mean? So I don't know if I would say I would see things before they happen, but I would definitely. So like with my ex-husband, which that's a whole nother subject. But
We all have that.
I know, right? I was able to see things that he was doing in my dreams.
Oh, that's really good.
It's kind of scary too, right? I attribute that to a part of my astrological chart, which I'm a Pisces moon. Pisces is known to be very dreamy and very intuitive because the moon represents like our intuition and our subconscious and things that are hidden beneath and things like that. So in that aspect, yes, it's somewhat psychic. It can be viewed.
What's
as
your
being
sign,
psychic.
Joe?
What is your
Aries.
sign, Joe?
He's an Aries.
Me too.
Really?
I'm a Leo. What's a Leo?
Oh, Leos and Aries they have similar personalities because Aries is the very first on the zodiac, and so they like to be first at things.
So do Leos.
So do Leos.
Leos like to boss you
yes,
around.
they like to outshine, right? Leos is at the height of summer.
Right.
You know what I mean? When it's like, oh, look at me, I'm gorgeous. That is supposed to be what the Leo trait is. But we have to remember that we actually have all of the zodiac in
Right.
our chart, not just what we call our sun sign. So
How does your rising sign affect you?
oh,
When they say you're a Leo with
That's
a
right.
Scorpio rising,
Right.
what does that mean?
So I'm a rising Virgo, right? And so this is supposed to mean how I present myself to the world.
Isn't that the water? So you're air and water?
Virgo,
Oh, no, that's
Virgo's
not.
an earth sign.
Virgo's earth, right.
But the interesting thing about Virgo is that it rules the digestive system, which is about breaking things down. And that's what I do with words. Virgos are very analytical. They want to know all of the details, which can be annoying sometimes. But that's just another part of my personality that actually plays a big role in my ability to break words down because it shows up in my Virgo traits.
Right. This is also interesting. I can't wait to read your book, and I can't wait to go to one of your classes too.
Yeah, you would definitely.
I can't
enjoy
go
it.
because I'm a man.
Well, you can go separately, privately.
You can go online. So that's what I was going to say earlier. There's a few different ways I teach the class.
Right, okay.
So they can either take the online class, which I do from, again, October to February, and I do that like through Zoom. Or if they miss that, my classes are on my website right now. Those are the recorded classes.
Okay.
So they can go on the website and just take
just
a
watch it,
recorded
sure.
class and just watch it, right? So that's the other way. And then the third way is to actually come to a physical class that I do as I travel. Every summer I travel to about 8 cities and teach the class live. That was the picture that you saw.
And you
up
have
there.
one coming up in Philadelphia?
I do have one coming up in Philadelphia. But before that, I go to, I have Chicago coming up. Where else am I going? To New York, Fort Worth, Texas, and then Philadelphia. Yeah. So I'm on the last half of the tour.
Do you do individual one-on-ones?
I do. For people that feel like they're struggling at getting to the root of what I call self-realization, understanding, some of their emotional trauma and things that's like kind of buried down in their subconscious. I do one-on-one sessions if they're really having a hard time, like trying to unlock those things.
Yeah, I was going to say that some people just aren't comfortable talking in groups.
Right. Yeah.
And what you have is so important to mental health and physical health that I think that would be another option.
Yes. I think the one-on-ones are also helpful because, like you said, not only speaking in groups, but sometimes people don't like to admit to some of their inner dialogue. So, for example, if someone struggles with, say, insecurity due to their weight, they may not want to admit that out loud in front of a whole group of people.
Right.
But one-on-one, if we get to the bottom of that, they may say, you want to know what? I do realize that I have some insecurities about my body, and I body shame myself, and then we can unlock the self-realization that is the cause of why you're attracting other people that's shaming you like that, because you're actually doing it to yourself.
Right. Well, we're at the part of our show right now where I'm going to have you look right in that camera there. And any women that want to get more into self-realization, learn more themselves, how to handle their life and problems better, please tell us how they can reach you.
Okay, so they can find me first and foremost on social media. I'm on many social media platforms. Instagram under BlaQ Fire Nation. I'm on TikTok under BlaQ Fire Nation. I'm on Facebook under BlaQ Fire Nation. Or you can go to my website, BlaQFireNation.com. It's spelled BLAQ, not BLACK, BLAQ, FireNation.com. Mainly on my website, and my YouTube page too, BlaQ Fire Nation. If you're not ready to come to a class and you just want to kind of dive into what I do, then you would go to my website, read some of my blogs, go to my YouTube page, and just watch some of the videos to get a feel of what I do.
Well, this has been really interesting. I know you liked it too, and I think you've given some valuable information out there.
Thank you.
So thank you everybody for listening to Let's Talk, and we're on
Every Thursday, 2 o'clock.
Yes, and we're also, when can you see the show?
I think you can see
Friday
it
and Tuesday.
Right, Friday and Tuesday.
Yes, but we're here. We do this every Thursday, and we want to thank you and have a really great week. We're having great weather in New Jersey, finally.
It's beautiful today.
Finally, it's beautiful. So have a wonderful week, and as we always say, God bless our troops and God bless everyone.
Take care. Have a nice week.
Bye-bye.